Hello and welcome to another Blender Know-How tutorial. In this video we're just going to learn how to create these Legos, mainly the modeling. That's actually all we're going to be working on with this. Yeah, like you can see the shader doesn't look anything spectacular because mainly the big thing we're going to work on is the modeling of this. So let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and open up a brand new fresh Blender. For your information, there is going to be down here the list of my mouse and key presses so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so let's just use a standard cube. I'm going to go into the side view of this and go into edit mode by hitting tab and hit Z and click on wireframe, and I'm going to make it roughly that big. There's not too big of a science. Just kind of, if you have a Lego, look at it. But yeah, just kind of make it the size of a Lego. This is going to be the side of the Lego without the top piece. So let's look at that. Now let's go to the top view by hitting 7 on your numpad, and then select these ones and move them over here. And honestly, I'm just eyeballing this because it doesn't have to be perfect. If you wanted to, you probably could just hit, if you hit 1, it would move it that way 1. So that's up to you if you want to do that or not. Yeah, so looking pretty good, just looking around. So next step is, if you haven't ever used this tool, it's a loop cut, and you just hit Control R and you can slide, position those around every edge. Now you may be wondering, why are we doing this? And this is to prepare for, and I'll undo this for a second to show you, but while you're doing that, it's to prepare for adding a modifier. So you'll want to also add a modifier here. And as you crank this up, you'll notice that if I go into solid mode, that does not look like a Lego at all. And so what we want to do is we want to hit Control R and bring out those edges. Now it still doesn't, and it's because we need to do these sides still. Okay, so now it looks like a cube-ish again, but you can notice that it's rounded the corners. So this is looking good. Legos aren't sharp. It may be contrary to your belief when you step on them, but they do have a little bit of round edges. Actually, everything in the world has a little bit of a round edge on there. So next off, hit Control R again. This is part 2 of the same tool. If you use your scroll wheel, you can actually increase the amount of them. You can't slide them now, but you can increase them. And then you can click and slide. So right click just to place them in the middle. And we only want these 3. And the reason why is because we're going to make the 8 piece. So there's going to be one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Yeah, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to hit Control R and just place one right there in the middle. Hit right with the right click. And you can see that we've got some stuff going on here. So now I want to start clicking on faces like this. So if you click on this button right here, it'll let you do that. And then I'm just going to go through with each one of them. You can't select them all like this, or else when you extrude, it'll do that. But you can select them one by one. Hit E, S, and then 0.8. E, S, 0.8. E, 0.8. And you can actually use any number for this, but I just found out that 0.8 is like the number that looks decent for that. Now go through and select all of these. Go down to a side view, either 1 or 3, and then hit E, and it will lock to the axis. You want to place your first point right here. And the reason for this is, I'll undo this and show you why. You can see how this curves right here. We want to make it a little sharper there. So if we hit E and place one right there and hit E again, and then hit E again, you'll see that it's sharper here and it's sharper here than without those. So that's kind of what we're doing. Instead of this, we're doing this. Okay, so now let's go into wireframe mode because we're going to want to edit a few things. I'm going to go into point selection again. I notice that that's a little high for me, and I feel like those are a little high as well. So yeah, it's pretty easy to edit once you get those up. And honestly, that's pretty much the cube. You can go over here and raise the resolution of that and shade smooth, and we're done. So I really hope that you've liked this tutorial. Comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you want to down there. Stay tuned. I might also post maybe some kind of shading tutorial that makes it look more like a Lego from the shading perspective. But yeah, thank you, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.